with the plan.
What's up, world? It's yours truly, Be The Man. I want to start the year off with a more relaxed, intimate, and personal episode. For the pro wrestling fans out there, you could call this a shoot diatribe of sorts. For those unfamiliar, a shoot in professional wrestling is any unplanned, unscripted, or real-life occurrence within a wrestling event. So essentially, you're getting more of the man behind Be The Man today. So, more Bryce, less Be The Man. 2020, let's be real, it was rough on all of us. A very rough year all around. From the current pandemic, the many deaths in the world, COVID-related and non-COVID-related, police brutality, an uprising of racial hate on all cylinders, and plenty more. On a more personal scale, 2020 dealt me some harsh blows. Last February, I lost my favorite great aunt on my dad's side, and very few know this, but back in October, I lost my great uncle on my mom's side, and he passed away due to COVID. So, pretty rough from those two things alone. But let's take it back to March real quick. Rewind back to March. So, due to the pandemic, I found out in a very unconventional way, to say the absolute least, that I, among the other recruiters at my first job, that we had all got laid off. In the same week, of course, my other job was unable to continue events due to the pandemic. And the kind of coup de grace blow was that, college, you can't have classes on campus, so everything shifted to online, distance learning style, and no in-person graduation ceremony happening in May. A time of year that was supposed to be my magnum opus quickly became a shaky road to the finish line of the final semester of school for me. Nonetheless, I readjusted and prevailed, because that's what I'm known to do, readjust and prevail. So it was one of the few highlights of the year, was that I still managed to finish out the semester strong, finish out my internship strong. Big shouts out to Mike Hallenbeck, Junior Birdman, big shouts out to you. I was able to finish the semester strong, and by all technicalities, I graduated. I won't lie, it felt really, really weird to be at home on a day where I envisioned myself walking across that stage for a second time, getting my second associate's degree. That probably hurt me more than not, making money. Probably hurt me more than the loss of my two jobs. But while the year certainly dealt some personal blows to me and blows within the world that affected me and made me very sad, there were some notable positives of the year. I dropped not one, not two, but 3 music videos. That being yesterday's Thrill, BDF, and Machine. Big shouts out to Jeff Peck, aka Louie, for helping me with those. Managed to get 3 of them out in 1 year, so that was dope. I graduated, as I mentioned, with my associate's degree in sound arts. My second associate's degree. Hashtag Beta 2 degrees. I released an EP that I mixed, mastered, and produced all on my own. That EP being I'm Serious. And did it all over again with remixing it for the remix version, I'm Serious, the Man with the Plan soundtrack, available on all streaming platforms. Started up this here podcast, The Man with the Plan. Quick side note that is not in my notes. One of the reasons I started this podcast is to have an additional venture that I can do in between me working on music and something I can kind of have to continue on the Be The Man name. If I start focusing on producing more, start focusing on these other avenues where I'm not able to necessarily do music, the podcast, I'm always here to deliver you guys some stuff, even if it's not music. So, just a little side note for you guys. Another notable positive that I've been preaching a bit more, especially throughout the almost 2 years I've been doing it, I've been making big strides in therapy for mental health and constantly focusing on ways to better my mental health and figuring out ways to be better and simply do better. So that's definitely a positive. And, of course, a very notable positive as well, getting paid from a show and getting paid well. Big shouts out to Broken Clock. Performed there 3 times. Last year was the 3rd year in a row. Big shouts out to you guys, for taking care of me, making sure I got compensated. So big shouts out to them. And another positive that is not on my list, being a part of a pro wrestling group on Facebook. Big shouts out to my guys at NAW and AAW. Being a part of a wrestling community that I actually fit in with really well, and being able to show off my creativity and chime in ways that I don't always get the opportunity to do so. You guys may see, I may release a short video here, not exactly sure when, but I might release a snippet of a live that the big guy, as I call him, Jabari, did a month or 2 ago. You might get some insight about this group. But yeah, being a part of that group, they did this thing called Faction Wars, and I was in that, and I got to cut some promos on people and channel that side of me. So that was a really cool thing to do as kind of the year kind of fizzled out there. So while 2020 didn't nearly have as many bright spots as I hoped, I'm aiming to do better in 2021 as I live out my last full calendar year in my 20s. For those who may not know, yes, your boy is 28, technically 28 and a half because December has passed. Turned 29 in June. Gemini season. Yeah, I turned 29 in June, so obviously this year would be my last full calendar year in my 20s, and 2022 obviously January to June, last little bit of being 20, and then, June 2022, your boy is 30, so this is definitely my last full calendar year in my 20s, so I'm aiming to certainly make the most of it, whether that be focusing on my music in the Be The Man or Mad Band form, continuing on with the podcast and other ventures to build the Be The Man name and brand outside of music, finding a job in the field that I fought so hard to get a degree in, or just appreciating myself and the others that are around me more. Maybe even finding a relationship. Who knows? But your boy is taking the advice of his parents and just chilling, letting it come to me naturally. That's a podcast and topic for a whole nother time, though. Overall, I want to focus more on the short-term, long-term goals that I have yet to achieve and have put off for far, far too long. It's a new year, baby. We on to bigger and better things. 2020 might have been a loss, but now it's 2021. It's your boy Be The Man, signing out.
The man with the plan. Nothing more, nothing less.